My coworker's wife accused us of infidelity, and HR believed her.
No.
Uh-oh.
Oh, man.
I, female 25, have a coworker, Connor, male 50, that I am close with. We both worked at the same university and have a lot of the same friends from there. And at our new job, we hate the same people. That's a good common bond right there.
Great.
Yeah. By the way, this comes from user falsefreedom6509 on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. We are close, quote unquote, but we don't hang out outside of work. We don't contact each other after hours. I ask him about his wife and kids at least once a week if he doesn't bring them up first, etc. We're not flirting, we just vent. Last week, a lady came up to me asking for a favor. She told me to stop following him around and that everyone could see what was going on, and I knew it too. I was shocked because I had no idea who she was.
Oh my gosh.
But then it clicked and I couldn't say anything except that I was sorry. Apparently, I've been on her radar for a while. My coworker, Kara, told me that his wife called her a few weeks ago to ask about me. Kara said she told her she had nothing to worry about with me because we don't like each other like that, which is 1,000% true. Kara said that I had nothing to worry about as the wife is just a little mentally unstable and whatever problems are going on in their marriage are not my problem.
Dang.
Well, it sounds like they're about to be.
Right.
I spoke with HR. I first started off with saying that I do not want anything done or said for the time being, and I made that very clear. I told her what happened, but not who it was. She, however, already knew who it was. She told me that she had seen Connor and I together frequently. I assured her it wasn't anything more than conversation. She said that they could have the wife banned from the campus, but I said no, as I didn't want to embarrass Connor. Yeah, it's like, is that the only option? They're like, well, we could just ban her from ever coming here ever again.
Yeah, that seems a little extreme.
It's like, yeah, that's going to make her really reassured that nothing bad is happening.
Right.
I haven't talked to Connor since then. He's hanging around my area of work, but I've been avoiding him like the plague because I don't know what to do. Kara says he is really embarrassed about the whole thing and that I should just act like nothing happened. But in my mind, something did happen and it was kind of big. What should I do when I see him tomorrow? And we have some relevant comments. But before we ask those, what would you say?
I don't know, because that's like so weird. Like, I just being buds with someone at work, and then all of a sudden it's like, you're cheating. You're sleeping with my husband.
Yeah, it's like the
I don't know.
The shock of like, wait a minute, whoa, and then you find out HR's already been like, yeah, we kind of picked up on that too. It's like, oh my God, no, like we're not.
Wait. Yeah.
But I would definitely at least talk to Connor about it and be like, hey, like, I think you need to do some work at home to make your wife understand, like, this is not, this is just platonic friendship,
right?
Work friends.
Yeah. Yeah, because sometimes I think when people like are toxic like that just on their own time, like he could be pulling the thing where it's like, oh yeah, I've got someone that I talk to at work. She seems pretty interested in me, and then she's like, oh no,
yeah,
no.
He made like one comment in a fight, and now all of a sudden OP is getting dragged in his marital disputes.
Right.
All right, well, let's see what these comments say. From Rough Foundation 691, a lot of expert HR here, people. Not asking, where did this happen, which is a pretty important question. OOP said, inside the office. I was alone in the supply room, and she blocked the door with her Oh, my God. Wait. I thought it was a phone call. The wife was there.
She's there. That's why they were like saying, like, we could just have her banned from the campus.
Oh, my God. That's why. Yeah, because she just showed up to the...
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's crazy.
Oh, that's extra crazy.
Cornered in the supply room, too.
Yeah, trapped.
Yeah.
Trapped you in the supply room. That's wild. Trans Gemini responds to that knowledge. Holy, absolutely inappropriate contact, Batman. Why isn't this nutcase already banned? This behavior doesn't pop up out of nowhere. The coworker definitely knows his wife is unstable. OOP, when asked why she was following him around. I wasn't following him around like that. We had a week-long event back in July. My boss just assigned me to work with his team around that time. His department deals with a lot of heavy lifting. My boss wanted someone from our team to be there to help guide him and his team, since we basically leave the event. She felt it was best if I'd be there because that's my area of expertise and I'm the strongest member in my department, so I could easily help with any lifting they needed. There was never any funny business, just business. Sure, we talked about things other than work, but it was mostly his family, which is also like not, you can talk to your coworkers about things that aren't work.
Yeah, like it's allowed.
It's totally okay. We never got into anything personal. And we have an update here.
Oh, man.
Let's go ahead and let's jump in.
Do it.
I had no idea about the unexpected drama that was about to be unfolded. Before his wife confronted me, my coworker and his wife were invited to dinner with one of the higher-ups. So the higher-up dinner is before being trapped in the closet. So this is backstory.
Okay.
Out of the blue, the wife pulled out a speech from her purse accusing my coworker and me of having an affair and read it out loud at the higher-ups dinner? Oh my God!
That's crazy.
HR had caught wind of this and asked him about it after seeing us together at an event, which was already normal for us. When my coworker got angry over the accusation, HR assumed it must be true and started asking everyone in the office for their opinions on the situation.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Honestly, why do they care that much? Why does HR, like, I feel like if I was HR, I'd be like, you know what? As long as it doesn't affect your work. Like, have an affair all you want, but like, as long as it doesn't affect your work. But clearly, like, I don't know, they feel more involved than they need to be.
Yeah, like the relationships or whatever in the office can be, like, they do kind of need to be managed by HR in a way. Like, they need to be aware of it. But at the same time, their rationale for like, oh, he got upset about it, so it's true.
Right.
It's like, no, I think you'd just be upset if you're like, God, they got wind of the letter that my crazy wife read at the... No, I'm not cheating on my wife with my coworker, for God's sakes. And then they're like, oh, that sounds like a guy who's cheating on his coworker.
Wow.
My friend told me my coworker called her to say his wife wanted to talk about me, and she reassured her that I wasn't a threat. But when his wife saw me talking to him, she freaked out and confronted me.
Oh boy.
My sister said my coworker didn't want me to worry, but their silence put me in a tough and vulnerable spot. I made it clear to HR that while my coworker and I get along, there is nothing romantic. He's twice my age and focused on supporting his family. Since then, I've just been following his lead. 1 minute, he acts like nothing happened. The next, he avoids me completely. People are now talking, and we need to decide where we go from here. But it's been almost 3 weeks since the wife confronted me, and the drama behind it all has been going on for a while now. I don't know what to do. And we have an edit.
Wow.
I don't know. I think you need to go above, like, HR has fumbled this from my perspective. I'm not an expert in that. It sounds like this was handled in a way that only made the situation more inflammatory.
Yeah.
Like, HR...
They're supposed to, like, you know, calm things down, like, be the mediators, and they were just, like, you know, egging them on. Yeah. And they're just like, oh, I guess someone here cheated.
Yeah, HR literally went through the entire office and went, hey, did you guys hear about OP and this guy? Like, did you hear that they're seeing each other? What do you guys know about that?
Yeah.
Everybody in the office. That's crazy.
Messy people.
And then, of course, the wife is going to be like, everyone in the office is talking about how you're having an affair. That's weird.
But it's like,
whoa.
But that wouldn't have happened if you didn't stand up in front of everyone and read a letter that you
not
already
just
had.
Everyone. The higher ups, like the big britches, pulled out a letter and said, I just want everyone to know that I know my husband's cheating on me with this woman. And everyone's like, you're cheating on your wife? He's like, I'm not.
It's like, no.
Just let her have this. Just let her go.
just let her have it. She'll be done soon.
Let's get into this edit. We have an edit. Thank you to everyone who has shared their opinions and offered advice. I want to clarify that from my perspective, there has never been any attraction or feelings between us. In our office of about 30 to 40 people, it's common to ask about each other's families. I've met his kids, who come in twice a week, and he often shares updates about their lives. Asking about his wife is simply a way to acknowledge her presence. We've never spoken negatively about her, and I actually admired how obsessed he is over her. We have a shared connection through our time at the university. He worked there before I started, and now I do contract work there on weekends. He currently works part-time at the university in addition to our main job, but we have different schedules. I work during the day and attend university at night, while he works at the university during the day and our other job at night. And by the way, it could be night, it could be day, it could be any time. You can join us and listen to full episodes with stories like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app and search OK Storytime. And we do have a little bit left here.
Let's just jump right in.
And I think let's just go in. I think we haven't really touched on if there could be like feelings that maybe the coworker has that OP doesn't, and OP hasn't picked up on it. But I'm sure you would have noticed that.
Probably. I would still believe that maybe he's like exaggerating things at home, either in a fight or maybe, I don't know, maybe she is just blind to it. Who knows?
So he might be weaponizing the friendship.
Yeah, maybe.
Well,
just to spice things up.
Well, let's see how this ends right now. Importantly, we've maintained a professional relationship at work. We rarely have lunch together. We don't reach out outside of office hours. And while we are friends on social media, we don't interact there either. I came here to ask on how to handle the matter in the best way. We've not spoken about what has been going on, but he goes from acting like everything is fine to being distant again. Unfortunately, we do still have to work together, and there is nowhere else for me to be moved, as I am already in a different department. And we do have some relevant comments. Maybe they will shed some light on the situation here.
Let's see it.
Pumpkin Patch 85 says, if he's not your friend outside of work and it's just a misunderstanding, then let your coworker know and handle it, and stay away from him completely. OOP says, I wish it were that easy. We still have to work closely. He knows what happened, and my friend said he is really embarrassed by it. He also told her that he tried to warn me a couple of weeks ago. He told me that someone made a comment that I was hanging around his guys too much. But his guys are in their 80s, and I talk to them maybe once a week. He wouldn't tell me who said it or in what context, but just told me to watch my back.
Whoa.
I thought maybe I had distracted them or one of them complained about me, so I stayed away from them. But not from him, and he didn't act any different either. And what he told me was completely different from what was actually going on. I'm not saying it's his fault, but my understanding was completely different from what was actually going on. Pumpkin Patch 85 then replies, you can work with him professionally and not have any other kind of interaction, no text, no social media. Also, you don't need to make any small talk or ask about his wife once a week like you have been in the past. Just stay away. It's not hard. But why does she have to do that?
Yeah.
I feel like this comment is sort of throwing OP under the bus. By just being like, well, now you can't have that friend because his wife thinks that you're cheating, that you're an affair partner. It's like, but you're not.
Right. I know that definitely like shouldn't be how it is at all. And that's frustrating. But I kind of see where they're coming from. Like, I kind of feel like it's like, well, you are in this tough situation now. Obviously something is going on and it's all weird and you're not really involved in it, but things might get worse from it. So I could see like, wanting to avoid the situation to not cause any more problems, but it does suck that needs to happen.
It seems like I agree because it is probably the easiest, clearest path, but it's also like kind of the most unfair one. Yeah. And it's also gonna be really hard because it's like, I don't know, you don't want to mess up the work vibes. Right. You got good vibes. You don't want to mess them up.
I mean, if HR is involved, then, their jobs might be on the line too.
Right.
Can't have that.
Just, God. So OP responds, that's the thing though. We don't call or text or hang out outside of work. Interactions have only ever been work related. I guess the only thing I can think of is we only communicate through admin, but to be honest, they both suck and we end up having to give communications with each other directly anyway. That's kind of been the recurring issue. Spa599 says, I was wondering if the older colleague might have a crush on OP without her realizing it. He may be someone who talks about his work day when he gets home and brings up OP's name a lot. The wife probably heard about OP so much that she thought the worst. OP says, I think you're right. Ooh. He has mentioned a few times before that he told his wife some things that we've discussed at work, and honestly, she's right about the following around. She just has the people mixed up. He tends to follow me around more than I follow him. Ooh. Uh-oh. He might be having the crush.
Yeah, looks like it.
Rotato says, she called you out in public at a company dinner. You should have already filed a complaint about that with HR. Not trying to seem aggressive, but it protects you, so do it. OP says, I wasn't there when it happened, and this was weeks before she confronted me. The commenter says, there are witnesses, no, including HR. Shouldn't be too tough. OP says it was just 4 people, the boss, his wife, and my coworker and his wife. Oh my God, just directly to the boss and his wife?
This is like an intimate dinner, and she's like,
oh
ding,
no.
ding, ding, gonna make an announcement.
And you won't believe it, but that's the end. That's the last comment.
That's all we get?
So clearly, I'll say this. HR fumbled this. HR assumed that there was an affair where there isn't one, just based on his negative reaction to being accused of having one.
Right.
And first of all, most of this needs to fall on the coworker, and he needs to rein in his wife's behavior and make it clear that it's impacting work. But you need to skip up the ladder of the HR department, because whoever was handling this didn't handle it right at all.
Right.
And you need to go above them to whoever is in charge of them.
I agree.
Go up as far as you can.
Yeah.
And just make it clear, like, hey, this is being totally mishandled.
Yeah.
And I don't appreciate being made out to be like an affair partner in a situation where that's not happening.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Wow. So literally the wife and HR are jumping to conclusions here.
Yeah.
That's the worst possible outcome.
Truly. And maybe reach out to the boss directly.
Mm-hmm.
And also be like, hey, I heard what happened at that dinner. That is not true.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know, let your voice be heard.
Yes.
At the very least.
Yes.
But that is the end of that story.
Woohoo!